Warm-up activity number 1. First, we add 28 to both sides. Then we multiply by the reciprocal of 2 over 3, which is 3 over 2. Notice on the left side would be 6 over 6, which just becomes 1. 74 times 3 on the right side becomes 222. 1 times 2 is 2. So 222 divided by 2 gives us a total of 111. And for problem number 2 on the warm-up, do our cross multiplication. 1 times x plus 3 is x plus 3. 7 times 8, 56. And then we subtract, 3 to both sides. And our result is x equals 53. So that's the summarization of the warm-up. This slide just shows problems that were originally 1 or 2 step, and basically we are using reverse Chern-Das to determine the solution. So for example, problem on the left, 2/3 times x is 10. We multiply both sides by 3 over 2, which is the reciprocal of 2 over 3. And as a result, the 3/2 times 2/3, that basically becomes a 1. 10 times 3 over 2, or 10 times 3, which is 30, divided by 2, gives us a result of 15. The problem on the right, we add 6 to both sides first. Then we divide both sides by +5. But we'll leave this guy, the -2 over 5, as a fraction. This was a couple of the problems we did in class. So for problem A, distribute. So 4 times -3x gives us -12x. 4 times 2 gives us 8. So we started with -12x plus 8 equals 16. And then we subtract 8 on both sides, which one of your classmates mentioned in class. This is the inverse property of addition. So +8, -8 cancel. We're left with -12x. 16 minus 8 becomes 8. And we divide both sides by -12. This is an inverse multiplication. So 8 divided by -12, which we simplify, reduce, and x becomes -2/3. Now for example B, distribute -3 to both 5x, which makes it -15x, and -6, which -3 times -6 gives us the +18. Then we combine our like terms, 7x minus 15x gives us -8x. Bring down the +18, bring down the +6. And now we will subtract 18 from both sides, our additive inverse, which makes the positive and -18 disappear. Bring down your -8x, and then 6 minus 18 is originally a -12, but as we discussed earlier, the two negatives, -12 divided by -8, makes the two negatives disappear. Similarly, -8, the x divided by -8, these negatives disappear. So we wind up with x equals 3/2, or x equals 1 1/2, or x equals 1.5. So the problem on the left, we do our cross multiplication. 8 times 9, 72. P times 2, which is 2p. Divide both sides by 2. The result, 36 equals p. Now on this side, x plus 3 over 4 equals 3 over 2. And in this case, notice that 3 times 4, we get our 12. x plus 3, we're putting in parentheses because we need to multiply the whole expression by 2. As a result, we get 2x plus 6 equals 12. Just like before, reverse germ das, subtract 6 from both sides, and then last but not least, multiplying 2 times x, divide both sides by 2, the result 3 equals x. Left side, again, we multiply both sides by your denominator, therefore that's in order to just get rid of our denominator. But when we get rid of the denominator, we can't forget to multiply the denominator to the other side of the equation as well. So when we multiply both sides by 5, that's why these 5s disappear. And 3 times 5 gives us a result of 15. Now, this step, distribute. 2 times 2x, 4x. 2 times negative 7, negative 14. So 4x minus 14 equals 15. Now we will add 14 to both sides. So therefore, positive and the negative 14 disappear. 15 plus 14 is 29. Bring down your 4x. You get 4x equals 29. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 7.25. Or you could have had 7 1/4. That would have been acceptable. Similarly, and we start this problem on the right, multiply both sides of your equation by 5. Once you do that, the fraction goes away. You still need your numerator. You still need to multiply 4 times 5, which gives us 20. Now we keep our numerator 4. Now we distribute 4 times 2x, 4 times 1. As a result, 8 minus 4x is 20. Add 4 to both sides. Additive inverse. Therefore, these guys go away. So we're left with 8x is equal to 24. And then our last step, multiplicative inverse. Divide both sides by 8. And we're left with x equals 3. Problem 1. These were some of the problems we were completed or have already completed in class. Step 1. Additive inverse. Subtract 22 from both sides. Then we have 3/4 x equals 6. Then we multiply by the multiplicative inverse, which is the same as a reciprocal. So reciprocal of 3/4, 4/3. So as a result, we should have a numerator and denominator both of 12. And on the right side, 6 times 4 is 24. 1 times 3, 3. And now we do our simplifying. The 12s disappear. 24 divided by 3 gives us 8. Problem number 2. Do our cross multiplication. 2x times 2
Good afternoon,
4x.
students in our after-school.
My apologies. Back to our video. 5 times 6, 30. 2x times 2, 4x. Divide both sides now by 4. So 30 divided by 4 simplifies to 15/2, which is either 7.5 or 7.5. Problem 3. Similar to problem 2, you do your diagonal or cross multiplication. Now again, remember, anytime you see an expression, put the expression in parentheses. So we remember 2 times both x and 11, which gives us 2x is 22. 8 times 3, we get a result of 24. Now we subtract both sides by 22, because that's the additive inverse of positive 22. So we have 2 is equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2, and in the end, 1 equals x. Now, problems 4 and 5 involve the distribution method. Number 4, you distribute first. So 3 times negative 2x gives us negative 6x. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring down your 21. And now we just do our two-step equation. Positive 15 cancels out with the negative 15. 21 minus 15 is 6. We still have negative 6x. Bring it down. Then the last step, divide both sides by negative 6. So 6 divided by negative 6 is negative 1. And then, of course, the x just comes on down for the ride. For number 5, you distribute negative 2 to the 3x, negative 2 to the 5. And as a result, where we get negative 6x, positive 10, we can combine the like terms, which are here. Negative 6x plus 3x. The result is negative 3x. Of course, we bring down the plus 10 equals 43. Now we're back to a two-step equation. Negative 3x plus 10 equals 43. At this point, subtract 10 on both sides. Left with negative 3x is equal to 33. And now we divide both sides by negative 3. Result is 11. Problem 6 was one you only needed to try. If you didn't complete it, if you had difficulties, that's okay. That's why you listen to the recording. Sorry about the bell. Multiply both sides by the 3. Because that is a way to get rid of our fraction. Of course, this 3, if we multiply by the expression, gets rid of the 3 in the denominator. But remember to multiply the 4 on the right side by your 3. That's how we get our 12. And we do our distribution. And now we're back to a two-step equation. 6x minus 14 equals 12. Like before, additive inverse, negative 14, positive 14. Terms go away. 12 plus 14 is 26. So 6 over 6 is equal to 26 over 6. Now, the 6's cancel. I'm just left with essentially 1x, but 1x is the same as x. And that's equal to 13 over 3, because we can divide both 26 by 2 and 6 by 2. So we get a result of 13 over 3, which simplifies, or you can make it a mixed number, 4 1/3. Seven, similar to 6, where, again, multiply both sides by your denominator. So we get rid of our fraction, but we have to multiply the 6 on the right side by 5. So we have 2 times 2x plus 3 in parentheses. Keep them in the parentheses. It's equal to 30. Now we do our distribution. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 3 is 6. Bring down the 30 for the ride. So at this point, we have to do an additive inverse. Positive 6, negative 6. Cancel. And then we have 30 minus 6, which is 24. And now our last step for this problem, divide both sides by 4. Which I forgot to do earlier, but here we go. The 4's eliminate themselves. 24 divided by 4 gives us a final result of x equals 6. Now we will look at problem 8. Problem 8. Distribute first. Negative 2 times 4x, negative 8x. Negative 2 times negative 3, positive 6. Next, group our terms. 3 plus 6, which becomes 9. Negative 8x plus 2x becomes negative 6x. Watch our integers. So remember, same signs keep and add, different signs subtract. And then next step, additive inverse. So we can't combine the 9 minus 6x, so we have to move the 9 to the other side by subtracting it. So 9, negative 9 cancel. So we have 6 equals negative 6x. Last but not least, divide both sides by negative 6. So we get rid of the coefficient, and we're just left with an x is equal to 6 divided by negative 6. X is negative 1. Last one, the hint. Place 1 under the negative 6. Then we do our diagonal or cross multiplication. So 2x minus 4 times 1, which is just 2x minus 4. And then negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. So I'm just going to redo this a little so you guys see it one more time. Here, we have a two-step equation. 12 equals 2x minus 4. So now, additive inverse. So we add 4 to both sides. We started with the negative 4. That's the opposite. Add the opposite. You also add 12 plus 4 here. So 16 equals 2x. And then last but not least, we have 2x is equal to 16, but we're going to divide both sides by 2. So when we divide both sides by 2, the 2's cancel. On the right side, we have an x. The left side, 16 divided by 2, which is 8. And we are finished. As always, ask questions when you see me next time in class. Thank you, and best of luck as we prepare for Friday's quiz.